when that happened, in my opinion, it wasn't about who was in jail and who wasn't. It was about, a man was going down, we had to help him.
New at 5, a group of Polk County inmates are now being hailed heroes tonight for saving a deputy's life.
Yeah, 11 Alive's Deborah Tuff is in Rockmart after speaking with the inmates.
So get this, humidity that day at 100%. That's when the inmates say they saw the detail officer who was standing right here buckle to his knees, so they sprung into action.
6 inmates from the Polk County jail were on work detail last Monday, clearing weeds and blowing leaves here at Rock Hill Cemetery in Polk County. Now that's when they say the officer, who did not want to be named, collapsed. Dropping their equipment, the inmates ran to help him, opening his shirt, removing his belt, and taking off his bulletproof vest so they could perform CPR. One of the inmates took the officer's phone from his work pocket. He then dialed 911.
They really stepped up in a time of crisis and showed that they care about my officers, and that speaks a lot about my officers too, how they treat these inmates. They treat them like people, like family.
The officer is okay, but taken off work detail.
Coming up at 6, we'll hear the inmates tell their stories. From Rockmart, Deborah Tuff, 11 Alive News.
Thank you, Deborah. This story out of Polk County is certainly a stark contrast to the events that unfolded last week involving the 2 correctional officers in Putnam County. Investigators say Sergeants Curtis Ballou and Christopher Monica were shot and killed by 2 inmates last Tuesday. They were transporting a busload of prisoners along Georgia Highway 16. Sergeant Ballou was laid to rest on Saturday, while a funeral will be held tomorrow for Sergeant Monica. Governor Deal has ordered flags at half-staff in honor of the officers. Tonight, we are still waiting to find out when those inmates will be extradited back to Georgia from Tennessee. Ricky DeBose and Donnie Rowe were captured late Thursday following an intense manhunt that ended again in Tennessee. Police spent 3 days searching for the men after they allegedly carjacked a driver immediately after killing the officers. Authorities said the inmates then broke into a home in Madison. They stole clothes and food before taking off once again. The search eventually stretched into Tennessee, where the pair was spotted Thursday. Following a car chase, DeBose and Rowe were finally caught after they surrendered to a Tennessee homeowner.
We have an update.